Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. I'm back with a race at this week's current daily race C at Grand Valley in Group 4. So this race doesn't have the most strategy, however there is a very good opportunity for some very good racing in Group 4. So yeah, if you do enjoy this race, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this and what you think about my suggestion, which might have made this race a little bit better, because I believe if this race would have been ×9 or ×10 tyre wear with both medium and hard tyre compulsory and a ×5 fuel consumption with this long straight and power zones, I think this race would have been incredibly strategic and really enjoyable, because you would have had the ability to push, put a bit of fuel in, save, and maybe gain a position in the pit stop and different tyre strategies. I think it would have been a great race, because the actual racing here is really good. So shame PD didn't try and do something like that. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Would you have preferred that, or would you prefer this flat out race with no strategy? Everyone's different. I still enjoy this race. I think it's a good one. I think there's good potential for some really good battling here with the different cars as well, because there's more than one car you can use at this combo. And I'm in the Ferrari. We're racing against a lot of Silvias. You can see the Silvia is probably the strongest car, but the Ferrari can hold its own. So let's see what we can do here in this daily race C. So we're starting in P3. You can see we've got RTR, Sarah Lewis in front of us, and Kieran, great name that, in P1, and Rivs right behind the set in P4. We know Rivs is a really clean and good racer. We've raced with him many times in lobbies, great battles with Rivs. So this is going to be interesting. Can we manage to hold at least this position for a bit? We're going to have to be very careful on the straights with the Ferrari, because the Ferrari doesn't have the low down, like for the uphill sections. The Silvia is very quick on acceleration out of slow corners going up hills. The Ferrari just doesn't really have the torque to pull itself up them up the hills. On downhill sections it comes back a little bit, but we are going to have to be careful. So trying to get into that slipstream to P2 in that Silvia. You can see very close at the moment, a lot of cars nice and close together, and we're coming into the tunnel section here for the braking zone. We can see we don't have to go defensive, we can just use that 100 board, get it slowed down, and try and concentrate on getting a good exit off this corner. This is so important to do when you've got a Silvia right behind us there. So again, up into third gear as we come through the exit, and we get a nice clean exit there. You can see we actually get a really good run, and we're into that slipstream of P2, and we're about 3.9 seconds behind P2. We will gain slightly because we've obviously got a double slipstream, but we've got Rivs behind us who's gaining a lot quicker. You can see that Silvia gaining a lot of time behind us, and he is possibly going to get the run behind us here. Now we're going to have to go to the right hand side to defend that inside. He's then going to go to the left hand side. Will he be able to get the run down the outside? We have still got the slipstream that's given us a little bit of help at defending, and as we hit that 300 board, you can see onto the brakes, holding a tight line, and we've managed to hold on to P3 there. So not able to go around the outside, very difficult to even try and go around the outside of that corner. The grip is just not there to really carry it all the way around the outside. However, now we're going down this downhill section, very tricky when following people, especially on the hard tyres. In time trial, mediums is a little bit easier, but on the hard tyres you find yourself running wide so many times. And we got a bit of a late move there, a little bit of contact there as Sir Lewis goes up into P1, a little bit of contact on the car. It wasn't too bad though. I think there won't be too much worried about that, because he had moved on, but then just a tiny bit of contact and he puts himself up into P1. So now we're going through this twisty section. Actually really fun to drive in Group 4. I really think it's an enjoyable combination in Group 4. I think personally this combination is better in Group 4 than it is in Group 3. I think in Group 3 the cars are a little bit too quick for this track, but in Group 4 it's almost a match made in heaven. These cars suit this track, and that's why I think if it would have had strategy this race and a bit of fuel in there, this could have been one of the best weeks we've had in a long time. It's a shame that PD just are not willing to give us the fuel and tyres together in 1 week. For this week it's just nothing, it's just a flat out race. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange thing they've done with the medium tyres being there but not compulsory, and it's always going to be a no stop if the hard tyre is compulsory, because pit lane loss on this game is a little bit too high. The only other way they could fix this situation is possibly what we suggested with a pit lane multiplier. So they can adjust the pit lane time, so you could have ×2, so 2 times quicker, ×3, 3 times quicker than normal, and adjust it based on the race distance and stuff like that. That could be a really good idea to incorporate some strategies into this race. So if you're listening, PD, think about that one. I think that a times lane pit a pit time multiplier could really improve the strategies and racing in this game. But you can see we're going defensive again. Ribs is going around that outside. Will he be able to make it this time? Again, he's going to try and go around the outside of this corner, and again he's going to have a lot of trouble trying to send that car all the way around the outside. You can see we've managed to hold that line and still hold on to P2. Some good racing so far. Ribs right behind us. We're putting pressure on the P1, so this is very difficult driving at the moment actually, because we're trying to hold P2 from P3 and also trying to attack P1. So into the braking zone, you can see they're just trying to make sure we kind of go a defensive line just to stop any opportunities of going for a dive up the inside there. Trying to get on that power nice and early in the Ferrari, and now working our way into this really enjoyable section of track where if you get it right, it feels so good. However, you get it slightly wrong, the car on the is, and you're into the wall on the left on the left hand side here. So again, try and brake early, get that car up into this bit of sand on the right, and then again give you rotation for this left hand corner and on that throttle as early as possible. You can see the traffic behind us, a massive long line of cars behind us in that bottom right hand corner. You can see it on the replay camera. Cars are very, very close at the moment. You can see that at the start, I think the separation is quite good on this track, so you end up with a lot of cars very close together. And at the moment, we're just about holding on to P2. Not the best exit there, could have been a little bit better, but we have got that slipstream to try and pull ourselves back up and see if we can go for a move coming out this chicane. So we need to get a really good I need to really nail that exit of this chicane to give ourselves the ability to go for the move. So again, trying to get to the right and then trying to rotate it into this curb and then up into third gear as early as possible, and that was a better run. You can see P1 gets a slightly worse run. This is going to be more of an opportunity. Also, we've got the gap to P3. You can see they haven't got the best exit there, Ribs. He's lost a lot of time, and now this is going to be an opportunity. Can I go for a move and try and get this overtake done? So we're going to get into that slipstream, going to go to the right hand side of the track and see if we can manage to drag our way past. You can see just not really got the speed on the straights compared to that Sylvia. So if we're going to go for a move, it's going to have to be, we're going to have a little look down that right again. He's aware of that fake, and we're going to try and send it around the outside. But again, like I said, with Riv's move, it's very rarely going to work because the grip is just not there. The inside car has the line, and he's took that line, and we're back into P2. But this is enjoyable racing still, so even though there's no strategy in this race, there is still good potential for racing, and that's the main thing. You can have some good side-by-sides, probably because we're in Group 4. I think Group 4 really suits this. Like I say, I think it's a perfect match for this track, much better than Group 3. These cars suit this track so much more. And again, we're getting very, very close. We're going to keep going, looking up the inside there. He's going to react to that. That's going to compromise his entry into this next corner. We're going to go a little bit slower and try and get on that power for the exit, and you can see again getting very, very close through here. But again, not really much we can do for an overtake here. It's all about trying to line the car up and position the car for a move somewhere else. And at the moment, didn't quite get the exit off that corner, which is going to mean I'm not going to be able to go for a move into this next braking zone. So again, it's just about trying to get close and seeing if we can get a move done for the straight, see if we can get a good exit out of the tunnel. Again, you can see getting extremely close, trying different lines, trying to see if we can get on that throttle nice and early. And again, very, very close here. Can we possibly go for a run up this hill? We're going to get into that slipstream. You can see gaining ever so slightly. It's not quick enough gains. We're going to have a little look to the right, just to the right hand side, just to see if we can scare him into braking a little bit late. But no, he holds the correct line and he's holding on to P1. So now it's just about trying to see if we can get on the power out of the exit here and see if we can get a run from this corner. Not the best exit that time. You can see he actually gained on us there, so we're not going to be able to go for a move this. And you can see by the end of the straight, nowhere near close enough, still 4 tenths behind. So a little bit poor on the exit there, compromised the ability to go for a move into turn 1. So again, it's going to be a case of trying to put him under pressure, trying to see if we can find the way past and see if we can force him into an error somewhere. So through here, very tricky section, trying to keep the car from understeering. See, I get a little bit of understeer there following behind him, but just about managed to keep it from getting a penalty. And again, into that tricky braking zone. We've got a nice gap to the cars behind. You can see huge gap to the cars behind where they're all battling. 3 seconds is plenty for us to fight it out at the front. We don't really need to worry about them at the moment because you can actually fight on this track and not lose massive amounts of time. We are losing probably half a second at least a lap at the moment, but it's not a huge amount with the little bit of battling we're doing. So again, trying to keep it nice and smooth through here, get that good exit from this corner. Again, not close enough to consider going for any sort of move into this left hand corner, but we're going to try and get close for the straight again. That's where we've got to try and see if we can get a move done as well. The straight is a very good place to go for a move. Very close to the white line there. I thought it might have been a penalty, but got away with that one. Didn't quite go over it enough, just kept it in the track limits. And now we're going to get in that slipstream, and again picking up a slipstream, having a little look there, just trying to see if he'll brake a little bit late in panic that there might be a move sent, but no, he's held the line very well there and not been flustered by that at all. So now onto the back straight, try and get this good exit from this corner. Early upshift to third gear. However, look, massive moment on the curb, and that is going to lose me the ability to consider a move now for at least half of a lap. So again, bit of time loss there. By the end of the straight, you can see 7 tenths back, and now we're going to try and catch it up. So as soon as we're going through here, you can see we managed to catch up a good tenth of it there in that fast left hand corner, and now into the braking zone. See if we can catch up some more. He goes a little bit late on the brakes there. That's going to give us another bit of time gained, and now we're back to 4 tenths behind, and now half a second behind where he's obviously got on that throttle. But we're going for a better lap now, so we got a bit of clean air and we were able to catch up quite quickly. I noticed straight away, as soon as we had a bit of clean air, we were able to get right back up behind him. So the pace is definitely there. It's just trying to find the way past. And as we come through here, you can see he goes a little bit wide. They loses control of the car. That's going to give us a run now to the left-hand side. I'm going to go to the left, try and squeeze him to that left-hand side so he compromises his entry into this corner. And now we're side by side going through this long left-hand corner. We've got the inside line now to this next right-hand corner. We're going to hold as tight a line as possible, give him the space on the left. And there's a tiny bit of contact there, but I think that was okay. We gave more than the car's width on the left-hand side, and we're up into P1. However, he is only 2 tenths behind us there in the mirror, and he's going to have that slipstream for the straight. So we need to make sure, I need to get a really, really good exit off this chicane. So again, second gear, early upshift to third gear for the power, and try and see if we can get that good exit. So quite a solid run there. You can see he didn't get the best exit behind us, over half a second behind, and that should be enough by the end of the straight. You can see not close enough, over 2 tenths behind, and then we're going to hold that inside line and now try and break away. This is where we're going to try and push away and see if we can keep hold of this P1. So he's going to get in that slipstream. He's going to actually bump draft us here because there's no real point trying to overtake. The Ferrari is actually a little bit quicker on acceleration on this part of the track. So with the bump draft, obviously the slipstream, he's given us a little boost. And now we're going to go into that braking zone. Just be careful we don't brake late for this corner. It's very easy to. You can see I almost brake late there. However, you can get away with braking late if you get on the throttle right and hold that line on the left hand side. So 2 tenths behind us, very, very close. You can see just how close it is on the replay camera. Trying to keep the lines nice and smooth. Very difficult to even consider an overtake. You can see the chasing group behind us there. A little bit too far behind really to worry about at this stage. We've got enough of a gap to fight this out in this race. You can see there about 2.5, 3 seconds behind us is the next chasing pack. So into this left hand corner where we made the move work before, hold that line, almost keeping the middle of the car on the white line for that rotation through that corner, and then powering our way onto this straight. And then as we go through here, we can see, looking in the mirror behind us, he is close. He's 4 tenths behind us. He's picking up that slipstream, and again, need to get a good exit off this corner up here, because if we don't get the exit, he's going to be going for that move in the Silvia, because we haven't got a slipstream. I haven't got that slipstream anymore to defend against. It's just the power of the Ferrari versus the power of the Silvia. And as you can see, get a really strong exit that time. Got on the power. The Silvia behind us didn't quite get the power down. And again, that should be enough of a gap there to be able to hold on into the braking zone. So again, let's see what happens as we work our way down the main straight. You'll start seeing that Silvia gain and gain and gain. You can see the gap coming down. But again, it's not going to come down quick enough for him to go for a move into the braking zone. So 3 tenths behind us. It's going to probably be about 2 tenths by the time we get to the line. And you can see we're going over the line with a slightly faster lap there. Now we're into clean air and into that braking zone. He's going to brake a little bit late there, and it looks like he was a little bit wide. And again, around 4 tenths behind us, but he's got that exit, a little bit better exit from that wider line. So back to 2 tenths by the time the cars are back up to speed. So again, through here, can we hold him off through this section, trying to get a nice clean line through there? Did it quite well that time. Managed to keep the car on the line and onto the brakes nice and early. Down to second gear, try and hold a tight line, get on that throttle so the car rotates, and we've got that gap back up to around 3-4 tenths. So at the moment, holding that Silvia off. I think if we can break the slipstream, we should be able to pull away, because you can see we're going a lot faster than what we was before. We're hitting personal best laps and sectors at the moment, so pace has picked up quite a bit. And as we work our way through here, you can see the gap up to 6 tenths. So starting to boost that gap up a little bit. You can see it's around half a second, between 6 tenths to half a second. It's gradually increasing. So let's see what happens as we work our way through this left-hand corner. Again, trying to get that middle of the car onto the white line for that rotation through there. Upshift to third gear and try and get on the power as early as we can through here. And you can see as we come through here, we have a little look behind us, and he has actually picked up a penalty. So that has gifted us the possible chance of a win here. And you can see by the time we come through here, we're over 1.5 seconds, 1.6. 1.7, and that is enough to break us out the slipstream. So from here we should be good to just hold on to the position. Obviously he's going to gain a bit on this straight because silver is a little bit stronger here, but it's just not going to be enough to gain him in the last few laps. So you can see by the time we come to the finish race, we're 2.6 seconds clear, and we managed to take a win in quite an enjoyable daily race C. So yeah, I've enjoyed this race. We've had some races that have been quite bad, however we have had some really fun races, and I think it's a race probably to maybe set a lap time on with the lack of strategy in this race. Try some different cars for some people as well. I personally won't be using the Silvia. I don't really like the feel of it on this track. The Ferrari feels really good. I'm enjoying the Ferrari, so I'll stick with that. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think about the strategy idea. Let me know. Bye everyone.